SEC launches regulation for security-based swap execution facilities. This is something that will be effective on February 13th of 2024, and we have another thing coming effective in February that we are about to touch on. Regulation SE aligns with the SEC's regimen closely with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission's, aka CFTC, swap execution facility rules, emphasizing transparency, pre-trade pricing, and risk reduction in the security-based swap markets. Regulation SE addresses the Exchange Act's trade execution requirement for security-based swaps, cross-border application conflicts of interest, and fosters consistency with existing Exchange Act rules. We also have changes to volatility haircut schedule for illiquid securities, aka new margin requirements, and here are the current and updated haircut rates. These will be effective on February 26, 2024, so February 13th and then the 26th. Now today is an absolute bloodbath red day in the overall markets. Today's a sell-off day. It's a cool-off, right? And we're going to talk about why, but this is how AMC is holding up. $4.53. TA does matter. It is holding right between this last channel before getting that leg up, which can happen at any point in time as we speak. So just keep a watch on it. Not only that, AMC's earnings are coming up on the 28th of February. We said they could be trying to delay catalysts until then. As of right now, the algorithms want to push AMC higher. We're just waiting on that move. Before we actually touch on something with AMC's chart, AMC has 250 million share float, 3.8 million apes, aka shareholders supporting the company. If the share price is $4.56 and every ape owns 66 shares each, or $300 worth, we own 250,800,000 shares of AMC. How many floats do we actually own? If you own more than 66 AMC shares, I want you guys to comment the diamond down below. That diamond emoji, I want you to put it in the comments down below and I want you to spam it. If you have more than double 66 AMC shares, right, over 130, you put 2 diamonds. You own more than that, you keep adding a diamond. I want to see how many floats we actually own in just my audience alone. Now the Bollinger Bands, looking at AMC's Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame, you can see that we are contracting very tight. In fact, the tightest that they've ever contracted on the weekly time frame. When this happens, you can expect a expansion over the horizon, which means a large move one way or the other. In my opinion, that move is going to be up. The previous expansion move was to the downside, and I don't believe we have a lot more room down to actually go. If AMC plays through another cycle, it'll get dangerous, and based off of crypto running the overall market as well as Ethereum Classic and some other things that track AMC, it just looks like we get that move up. Invesco and Cube Research Technologies added another 1.26 million and 547,000 shares of AMC, bringing their total holdings to over 8.5 million and 8.3 million worth at an average cost of $15 and $23.50. And no, it's not only the lend. They may recall during a squeeze, right? The lending rate is not high, right? That percentage that they're receiving to lend shares is not high. It's not anything substantial. Of course, if you own that much money, it could be slightly substantial, but in reality, there are other ways to make a better investment. They may be holding these shares for a squeeze. And AMC short interest continues to rise over on Ortex, 12.36%. We look at this for the trend. 30.96 million shares shorted on AMC. If we look at Stongo Tracker, we're winning on the options chain for the week, but it's only Tuesday. 30,000 calls compared to 15,000 puts expiring in the money, and plenty more calls expiring out of the money as well. Short exempt volume still pretty high for the volume that the stock is getting, from 263 to 166. GameStop is holding up pretty well, but I don't like that we pushed hard back into this channel and gapped down, sort of like the SPY did. This is the definition of a hammer candle. This is the flattest you could possibly see it. Okay, for the body of the candle. There's basically no body here. The whole day is a wick. GameStop came to this macro trend line and got smacked back into this channel. You don't want to see it stay in this channel, because if it stays in this channel, chances are it's going to drop to the previous accumulation channel that we should see, which would be 30% down from the previous cycle, which is how cycles play out. So we want to see a break out of that macro trend line. GameStop has 3,000 calls compared to 8,000 puts expiring in the money. So we are losing on the options chain as of right now. Short exempts died down quite a bit from yesterday. You can see that they smacked this thing back down. From what's going to be reported tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if it gapped higher higher up, right, than the 9,000 that we see. Now, 16 firms agreed to pay more than $81 million to settle Securities and Exchange Commission charges over widespread and long-standing failures by the firms and their employees to maintain and preserve electronic communications on February 9th, according to the SEC. The firms, which included 5 broker-dealers, 7 duly registered broker-dealers and investment advisors, and 4 affiliated investment advisors, acknowledged that their conduct violated record-keeping provisions of the federal securities laws, agreed to pay the civil penalties of more than $81 million, and have begun implementing improvements to their compliance policies and procedures to address the violations. And German banks are bracing for a wave of bad loans in the greatest real estate crisis since the financial crisis, according to CNN. Speaking of bad loans, yesterday we touched on Citigroup getting an urgent alert on consent orders. Now, a couple things that I wanted to attach to this that we didn't actually go into detail with is Citigroup has been requested urgent changes regarding the way it measures default risk of its trading partners. Additionally, the bank's own auditors have identified shortcomings in a plan aimed at improving internal oversight. These developments could potentially hinder the CEO's efforts to revitalize the bank's fortunes. Another banking regulator, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, also conducted exams in September as well as October to assess whether Citi has made much progress on data integrity as it claimed. Citi ended up failing those exams, forcing it to do additional work. The Fed and OCC declined to comment. Progress on its regulatory issues is crucial for the bank. Regulators have the authority, for example, to limit Citi's growth and ask for changes in senior management or the board if the bank is not timely at complying with the consent orders. Lastly, we also touched on hedge funds raising their prices. The priciest multi-strategy hedge funds are now keeping most of the profits they generate, while clients shoulder their costs. For example, in 2021, clients of these hedge funds received 54 cents on the dollar, and now they are only receiving 41 cents of every dollar by multi-strategy funds, which is a huge difference, especially when you're handling a lot of money. Banks, hedge funds, not in the best spot. AMC looks like it's setting up in a good spot. The market is setting up in a good spot, which we're about to jump into. Real quick, guys, if you want up to 15 free stocks and a great platform to trade stocks as well as options on for free, as well as receive level 2 order book data for free, customizable earnings calendar, and more, use my link, sign up for Moomoo, and deposit $1 into your account to start earning these benefits. Once you receive your free stocks from Moomoo, you can choose to keep or sell those. I can't give you financial advice or tell you what to do because I am not a financial advisor, but that can help you pay for the Discord for at least a year, hopefully. The Discord is right under the Moomoo link. It's a coffee a month. I'm in there on the daily, so if you want to come talk with me, yo, lottery stocks, can you put out a video about this? Or if you want to even come see my trades, I post them in there as well. The best people are in the Discord, the best vibes. Come join the family. We talk stocks as well as crypto in there. Moving on, CPI inflation data came out today, hitting 3.1%. And now markets are just pricing in 4 rate cuts in 2024, which is a huge decline from 8 to 6 just over a month ago. Now, the Fed guidance was for 3 interest rate cuts in 2024, and the odds of a March rate cut are now below 10%, and odds of a May rate cut are plummeting, which is not good for the overall market. This is why you see the SPY gap down. Now, in my opinion, SPY is not looking bad. The SPY overextended where we even thought it would go, wicked above 5,000, came down today and filled a gap, and now has a gap to the upside to around 5,000, right? SPY still looks strong. Fading volume on this sell-off as of right now, right? The market's not closed, but as of right now, fading volume on this sell-off. Another thing I find very odd and pay attention here is Russian President Vladimir Putin's suggestion of a ceasefire in Ukraine to freeze the war was rejected by the United States. This is extremely weird because why would the United States do this, right? Do they need war into the election season to funnel money through Ukraine to Democratic officers? We kind of know that whole money laundering thing actually happens. In fact, they just today, earlier, sent over another $1 billion in aid to Ukraine, right? You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And on the flip side, what is Vladimir Putin's reasoning for the ceasefire? Now, $800 million worth of shorts will get liquidated if Bitcoin hits 55,000. This is going to be bad for short sellers across the board, shorting equities market, shorting the crypto market, and it looks like Bitcoin is going to do just that and liquidate these short sellers. However, a couple things I want to warn you for. We hit resistance here Bitcoin is coming into the halving with about 65 days left. A lot of times we see a flash down that doesn't need to happen either way. Post halving, I see Bitcoin well above 55, but I just want to point out for the short term, 54,000 is a crucial resistance level on Bitcoin, which is right under that short seller wall, right? That's probably where short sellers want to get out of their positions, because after 55, Bitcoin's going to 60, then retesting all-time highs, then creating all-time highs. Another touch on crypto, Ethereum ETFs may be coming in May of 2024, so keep your eye on Ethereum and let me know if you're picking some up in the comments down below. And Ripple just acquired a crypto trust company, Standard Custody and Trust Co., to expand US options. Moving on, Tesla, you just can't save this thing, down 2.4%. Breaking below this trend line. It still has the rest of the day to save itself and have the body close above this, but if we close under 183.50, it's not going to look good for Tesla for the very, very short term. Now, a lot of you stocks, what the hell is happening now with Tesla? It seems like every single day there's a negative catalyst for this thing, and you really can't make it up. It's very odd. A Tesla worker killed in a fiery crash, full self-driving fatality. Tesla worker died in a horrible crash on full self-driving beta, but he was also drunk. I don't know what happened here, and I'm not giving an opinion on it. I'm just saying there's always some sort of negative news with Tesla. Prayers to whoever that was and their family, right? But that's not all. Elon Musk was just ordered to testify in SEC probe of Twitter purchase, right? There's just always something. So Elon Musk testify for the SEC, rejecting his claim of harassment. Finally, before we close out the video, Hood has earnings tonight. Robinhood, this is for you. We'll see what happens. Even if earnings does well, this stock is looking like a pile of hot garbage. This channel looks good. It has 3 tests. It could break above, but I wouldn't expect this thing to go too high, to be honest. I wouldn't expect it to break over 1650 in my eyes. And even if it does, in my opinion, it's coming back down over the long term. If Robinhood breaks down, watch $8.40. Also, we got stopped out of a couple things in the trading account. This is what stop losses are good for. Now sitting at 364.32. That is it, guys. I love you all. Lottery Socks out.